Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Playing World of Tanks. I'm AJ, and today we'll be looking at a game that I had in my VZ120, which is the Chinese Tier 9 medium tank. Now, Lakewell is one of those maps that has to be played in a very particular fashion. As a public service announcement, I would beg a lot of people not to overcommit to the valley push, and that is because the terrain in the valley is pretty soft. It's considered soft terrain. So if there are any defenders, you can easily turn around and deal with attackers in the valley. Plus, if you're pushing through the valley, Artie has very easy shots, and also your forces can go hull down against attackers if they progress far enough within the valley. Now, right off the bat, I would like to apologize for the lack of content on the channel. It was purely because I lost one of my favorite pets. Um, I actually have two guinea pigs, and one of them passed away, unfortunately. We took her to the vet 3 days last week, I think, and she passed away on Friday. It's been pretty hard on me and my wife, and we've still been sort of like trying to deal with the loss. It's purely because the animal in question is so fragile, and we loved her so much because she was such a nice animal, always willing to show affection to us. And that is why, and how she died kind of like particularly hit us pretty hard. And yeah, it's not easy to even now talk about this. I even now, if I think about it, sometimes it kind of like brings me to tears. So hopefully, we'll get over the loss as soon as we can. Now, the worst thing that can happen to an enemy tank if you're playing in the middle is getting spotted. Now, if you're playing in the middle, always remember you have to find the cover, the hard cover that can protect you from enemy fire. Because if not, then you'll be taken out relatively quickly if there's enough tanks looking in the middle. Now, the IS-8 is backing off. I don't know why. I think he should have been doing what I'm doing right now, pushing very aggressively. I'm gonna go to this church and I'm gonna try and side scrape against most of the targets that are gonna show up. And as the Panther retreats, I put another blind shot into him, which actually connected, because the next time we see him, he's on pretty low health. Now, the church offers pretty solid cover against the tanks on the enemy team, also against Artie, so it's a good place to go rush, interfere in heavy tank, and try to side scrape against tanks that are showing up in different alleys. Now, this IS-3 progresses further and realizes that the church was not contested by his team, and we shaved 2/3 of his health right off in 2 shots. I decided it's time to push because the enemy is pretty out of place. I decided to take out the IS-3 first, which was relatively low health. The Black Prince sort of like comes out and tries to put a shot into us, but I'm not interested in dealing with Black Prince. I was more interested in taking out the T-30 that was in the middle. My platoon mate sort of like pushes into the Black Prince. I sort of push with the IS-8 and try to take out this IS-2. I put one more shot into him and wait for the IS-2 to finish him off, because I'm pretty sure his reload was probably faster than mine because I had just fired. Now, the Black Prince on the enemy team tries his best, but unfortunately he's a tier 7 tank faced with tier 9 tanks, which is not a fun thing to do. When you're out-tiered by 2 tiers or more, it's not fun to deal with tanks. Like, tier 7s don't enjoy dealing with tier 9s. Excuse me. Now, as I progress further, I see, the M53-55 try to come out. I put a shot into him, and unfortunately, it's not high enough to actually kill him. I spot the Yak Panther 2 within the base, and I didn't think he was firing at me, so I come out and aim, and unfortunately, I low roll again and not kill him like I did the M53-55. Now there's an M45 who was left behind, and he gets finally taken out. Rest of it is basically just going to be a mop-up operation, and I'm trying my best to sort of like get to the 1-to-1. am enjoying playing the VZ120. It's a very interesting combination of the gun and the armor and the mobility. I think of it more of as a very fast IS-8 with good armor, just because like unlike the IS-8, the VZ120 can actually angle its armor against threats that it actually sees. So you are able to bounce a lot of shots, because not a lot of shots is kind of like over exaggeration as far as I'm concerned, but you'll bounce a decent number of shots considering who you're facing. And yeah, I mean, hopefully, like, this was a good showcase of how to play it really aggressively if you're in tier 9s against tier 7s. I mean, remember, your only job is to just sort of like take out the tier 9s in the enemy team. The rest of it doesn't actually matter much. So the World of Tanks is all about getting map control and positioning. If you have it, it's pretty easy to win games. If you don't, it's pretty easy to lose games. If the games you think you're winning, you probably lose because of it. So, it is what it is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode of Playing World of Tanks. Oh, by the way, this match wound up being 4800 damage with 6 kills, which I expertly stole from my friend. So I'll hopefully post more content about the VZ120